The Bearcats prepare to kick the ball off. Number 44, Aaron Eubanks kicks the ball off. He prepares. The ball is in the air. Pretty short kick as number 42 flops on the ball. It's still loose. Number 42 flops on the ball there.
The 45, Eagle ball.
That ball, Chris, that player's name is still not on the roster here for the Eagles. So.
And going up to the line, here will be Mr. David Young. Over him, of course, Ben Clore, and they take it to the left-hand side. They gain about an inch, if that much.
Alba collapsing inside against this Eagle offense as Ben Clore comes to the line once again. Straight T in the backfield. Ben Clore turns, fakes it, decides to go into the air. He has man open. Jeremy Walters, almost a fingertip grab there by Walters.
Sturdy didn't fall in on us last year. Hopefully won't this year. Here we go. We got a slot left, split right. We're going to see what Eldorado's going to do here. It looks like a pass, and they take it, and it's going to be to Walters, and Walters still going with it. He's going to pick up about 5 yards, and that'll get him at about 4th and 5.
Jeremy Walters is back to kick, and going back to receive for the Bearcats is number 1, Jared Freeman, along with number 40, Garrett Janello. So Janello and Freeman back for the Eagles as Walters kicks the ball away. Good high kick there as Freeman going to take it, catches the ball. He's hit at the line and a fumble on the play, and it looks like the Eagles have recovered. Big Clore there. Eagles have possession on the Bearcats' 21-yard line.
Here comes Clore. Clore's going to be over Mr. Young, David Young. Here we go, T-back formation. Here comes Clore. Ooh, almost a jump there.
Now, the Eagles came upon almost winning that game last week. Just some bad plays on the other team's part and just drawing the other team off as Ben Clore comes to the line of scrimmage, turns, gives it to Sean Stanley at the left side. He has open room. He cuts it inside. He's in for a touchdown. Eagles, Sean Stanley. 16-yard run there.
It's our score. Hopefully they'll be able to get the 2-point conversion. Put them in with 2.
So just under 10 minutes to play. Score now 16-12 in favor of Christopher as Ben Clore takes position under center, takes the ball, gives it to.
Wow.
Gives it to, really pounding it to the DuQuoin Indians.
Holy cow, that's an absolutely just totally unexpected score here, Joe.
So here comes Jeremy Walters kicking the ball off, gives it to Janello. Janello's taking it straight up the gut, cuts left, has room, but he's going to be brought down there by number 24. Troy Gwaltney along with.
Holy cow, Troy Gwaltney out of nowhere.
Along with Sean Stanley there too, Chris.
Wow, Troy and Stanley both there just having a heck of a hit. That knocked the guy back up at 5 yards. I mean, what was our score? It's going to be 1st and 10, and the ball is going to be on the 35-yard line. Here we go. Here comes Danny Monty. Monty going to be over Straub, and here we go. Monty's going to give it to his big fullback, Greg Janello, and Janello is going to get a line, and it looks like possibly a late hit flag. A flag on the field, hopefully not. These Eagles do not need any more bad calls. Silly mistakes here tonight.
But it is holding, Chris, against the Bearcats, so good play there. Good call there by the referees. Just going to march the ball
up here out of the east at 8:19. Here, right here on your star station, WEBQ. Play the best in adult contemporary, the 70s, 80s, and 90s when you're not listening to Harrisburg or Eldorado football. 65 degrees.
Here comes Danny Monty up to the line of scrimmage. 1st and 14 for the Bearcats. Just above 9 minutes to play. Monty turns, gives it to Bramlett off the right side. Bramlett running, still plowing forward, brought down by Hampton and Walters along with number 54.
Just our 2nd game of the season. We're doing the best we can. 8:40 left to go here in the 3rd period. 16-12 is our score, a 4-point down here for Eldorado, and they give it to the big fullback, Mike Bramlett. And Bramlett picks up about 4 yards, and will it be 1st down? And well, let's see. We're going to have to wait and see. Yes, it is.
3rd quarter as the Bearcats marching the ball up the field. 16-12 is the score. Eagles struck first blood here in the 2nd half as Monty brings the ball, turns and gives it to Mike Bramlett off the right side, hops around and picks up about 5 yards there.
Just intercepted a DuQuoin interception there and running in for a touchdown, 28-0. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Charlie, and for that official score there, that lets us know that nobody's pulling her leg as Janello takes the left side, being brought down there by Sean Stanley. It's going to be a little short of the first down, or maybe he might. I think he does, Chris, have the first down there. Looks like it's going to be awful close.
Didn't look like he picked up that much yards because he kind of ran a slant, but he did.
Chris, I got one question. What's going on in the Harrisburg-DuQuoin game? DuQuoin's the number one bummer there. Eagles doing a nice job of holding the Bearcats, and the Bearcats just squeak by and get a first down. 7:32 left in the third quarter. 16-12 is the score. Bearcats leading 28-0 is the score of the Harrisburg-DuQuoin game. That just blows my mind, Chris.
An absolutely beautiful evening for football as Eldorado trying to make a little comeback. They're doing a pretty good job at holding these guys off. 7:23 now left in the third. 16-12. Here we go. Monty gives it to his fullback, who picks up about 4 to 5 yards.
Trust it too much because we're just on open air, Chris, after we're outside the bleachers, and a little bit uneasy up here at this booth shaking as the Bearcats come to the line of scrimmage. 6:40 left in the third quarter as Monty turns, gives to Mike Bramlett off the right side. Being pursued there by Jimmy McCarty, who wraps him up, and then he's brought down by...
Harrisburg is leading their ball game. Last we checked, 21-0 over DuQuoin. Wow, that's really surprising. And here comes Monty leading his pack up to the field. Here comes Monty. He's going to give it to his, let's see, he's going to take it himself. He's going to gain 5 points, and it looks like he's going to get the first down himself.
Sean Stanley, Danny Monty, and his Christopher Bearcats. The Bearcats coached by Coach John Kretz. Coach for Christopher. Danny Monty turns, drops back in the pocket, rolls right, pursued there by some Eagle defenders, and we'll have to wait and see what that pass is.
And it's going to be intercepted here.
Intercepted by
the field for another touchdown. Here they come. Here comes Ben Clore. Clore going to be over David Young, and they get the pass, and it's a handoff here to Sean Stanley. Stanley will march his way up the floor. Wow, gets about 8 yards.
Here comes the Eagles up the line of scrimmage. Just under 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter, 16-12. Ben Clore turns and gives it to Jimmy McCarty off the right side, cuts it in, and for an Eagle first down, Jimmy McCarty
in the backfield, and here comes Clore. Clore lines up, gets his men ready, gets it to McCarty again, and wow, McCarty gets hit hard here in the backfield by Danny Monty.
So Danny Monty somehow probably a blitzing.
And about 14-15. It's going to be 14. We are in the third period, 4:11 left to go. 16-12 is our score.
Here come the Eagles. Straight T backfield, both ends in tight as Ben Clore takes the snap, turns, gives it to Sean Stanley off the left side, breaks it, cuts inside in the secondary for probably about a 10.
And Coach Carl Justice did a fine job there at the halftime. Well, here comes Clore, going to be over Young, and it looks like they're going to be lining up once again in a T formation. Clore gets his snap, gets it to Walters, and Walters gets creamed in the backfield there pretty early. Not a gain of anything, but they didn't lose anything either. And it's going to be, let's see, I guess that was it. Field. Maybe if I was a betting man, I'd watch out for the fake.
Odds are against you, so if you bet, you probably win a pocket full of money as Walters prepares to take the snap, and he puts the ball in there as a pretty good kick there, as that ball's going to go out of bounds, going to be spotted about.
They could put the hurt on you. And with 2:46 left to go here in the third period, it is 16-12. CSER's football. Hopefully the Eagles defense can hold them here and try to slow them down a little bit. Here comes Monty.
Bob DeBoe's back in the defensive backfield for the Eagles.
Monty going to get a handoff here to one of his key men, Mike Fletcher. 7.5. I still think I was closer, but oh well. Well, it doesn't matter what I think.
Here come the Bearcats. 2 minutes left here as Monty takes back, pitches off to the left to Janello. Janello being pursued there by a bunch of Eagles, including Sean Stanley and Jeremy Walters, along with number 71, Jason Mulvey.
It would be a key piece of the puzzle that puts this Eldorado Eagle team together.
Very well put, Chris. Mike Bramlett off the right side. He's being pursued also by a group of Indians, and the Indians just swarm. Chris, this punt here as the Bearcats get ready to punt the ball away. So good defensive effort there by the Eagles to shut down the Bearcats' drive there.
Exactly. Got to watch for a fake here. CZR has been known to pull some silly things. It is going to be a punt. Wow, and only about a 15-yard punt as it goes over, hits one of the CZR players on the sidelines, puts him down. And with 55 seconds left to go here in the third, it is 16-12, a 4-point deficit. That one is a doozy.
That's a bat. As here comes Ben Clore for the Eagles. Eagles have a good opportunity here to put the ball in the end zone as they turn. Give it to Sean Stanley off the left side. Still on his feet. Still going for about a 6-yard pickup there. Good effort there by Sean Stanley.
Dr. Charlie Conwell sitting back at the station. And we'll have some more action. And we'll see what scores he's got for us as Clore steps up to the line over Young. Move it back 5 yards when it's 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 5, and they get 2nd and 11 out of it.
Must have been 2nd and 6. Here we go. Ben Clore with the ball. Turns. Gives it to
get a little taste of Eldorado and maybe flip over to Harrisburg and keep in touch with both games. That's the way we do it. WEBQ. Well, Clore steps over Mr. Young, and Clore T backfield. He's going to give it here to Sean Stanley. Stanley marches up the field. That's the thing about these teams. You never know what could happen. It can switch it to flip of a hat, flip of a coin. 11:54 left to go here in the fourth period. Here comes Clore.
Clore to the line of scrimmage. Straight T in the backfield. Both ends in tight. Turns and gives to Jimmy McCarty off the right side. Goes to that side. Cuts it back in. Dives forward for about a 7-yard, 10-yard penalty against the Eagles.
Looks like more about the 15.
Illegal hands on one of the Eagles to one of the Bearcats. Yeah, 10-yard penalty there. 2nd and 10 as Clore comes to the line of scrimmage. Turns, drops back, rolls right. Tries to go, and Walters almost comes right. So I say they're going to maybe get a little play action going and give it to one of the runners.
And they've got a slot left, a split right. And what's going to happen here with, well, it is just going to be 2nd and 23. They didn't lose it down at all. And here comes Clore. Clore's going to maybe pitch it. No, he doesn't. He's going to take it himself as he just had a couple of guys there to beat. Wasn't able to do it. And it's going to be 3rd.
For Christopher. Christopher brought a pretty good crowd. That's about an hour-and-a-half drive, Chris, from Christopher to Eldorado as we have 11:18 left here in the ball game. 3rd and 13. Here comes Ben Clore and the Eagles. Split backs in the backfield. Split right and split left. Here comes Ben Clore. Drops back. A blitz coming, and he's in serious trouble.
Clore
Mike Bramlett
got mauled there by Mike Bramlett. And wow, Mike Bramlett celebrating on that play. Going to be all right as he runs off the field. Ben Clore, Iron Man. Here comes Young. Young's going to step up. And
Jeremy Walters going to be kicking it away. 4th and 20, 10:33 left here in the ball game. Walters gets the ball, kicks it away. Good high kick once again. As the ball, Eldorado's going to get a nice bounce there. They let it go, and that ball's going to be spotted at about the 9-yard line, Chris. So good roll there by the Eagles, and that's about a 40-yard kick, Chris.
12, Chris Moore, Joe Smith sitting in there with you on a beautiful Friday evening. Other games in the area, Harrisburg and DuQuoin playing right now. And here comes play-by-play, Joe.
Here comes Danny Monty for the Bearcats. Gives it straight up the middle, too. We'll have to wait and see. That looks like number 33, Mike Fletcher, up the middle. We'll have to wait and see who's in the stop, who's in on the play there. Brandon Hampton, one of them, along with number 54. Wes Watson and Hampton have been in on a few tackles tonight for the Eagles. 9:30 left here, Chris, in the ball game, and the Eagles got to hold them here to keep this ball game alive.
And here comes Monty. Monty's going to be over Straub. John Straub, and here we go. Walters looks like he's going to try to blitz. Tries to plug up the hole, but they take it to the left-hand side. Is taking the ball home. It's going to be Janello. Janello still going. Wow, gets up to about the 37-yard line. And wow, they don't need too many more of those, Joe.
No, Chris, that's costly.
That's definitely a costly play, as Eldorado will pay for that one. 9:17 left to go in the fourth, 16-12. This is where Eldorado Eagles just going to have to bite the bullet and try to hold these guys. Try to take it back the other direction. hopefully maybe hope for a fumble or
on the play.
Bad pass, maybe with an interception. There's going to be a flag, and the signal's going to go against.
Is very much in this ball game, Chris, as score is now 16-12. First and 10 for the Bearcats if they start all over from scratch. From the 23-yard line, here come the Bearcats. John Kretz's crew comes up to the line of scrimmage as Danny Monte's controlling it. He turns and gives it to Mike Bramlett off the middle, turns and spins, brought down there by number.
9 minutes left to go. Here in the fourth period, 16-12 is our score. And coming out, here we go. Here comes Monty. Monty's going to hop out. He's going to get the pitch out to Janello. Janello runs upfield. He's still going. Wow, this Janello kid is absolutely tearing up this Eagle defense as Janello gets up quite a few yards. Now with 8:44 left to go, he picks up about 20 yards, and it's going to make it first and 10 on the 41.
For first down.
8:44 left here in the ball game, and the Eagles just kind of toughen up on defense, Chris, here late in the ball game, as little Janello just running all over him here late in the ball game. As here come the Bearcats once again to the line of scrimmage. 8:40 left here in the ball game. 16-12 is the score in favor of Christopher. Monty turns and gives it to Janello up the middle once again, but he goes no. Hampton's in on a lot of tackles tonight, Chris.
Hampton is. He's getting in there and showing him stuff tonight as he's doing a fine job along with the rest of the Eagles, but they're just going to have to do a little bit better job right here and holding this tough offense brought on by Christopher. Well, going up to the line here is going to be Danny Monty as Monty steps up to the line right over his man Fromm, and here we go. Monty's going to get a pitch out here to his main man, Janello, and there are flags all over the field as it's littered with flags. Looks like got a holding on the off.
14 it's going to be. Second and 14 for the Bearcats.
Again, the Eagles get a break. The Eagles really get the breaks here in the second half. First half they couldn't buy a break. Here in the second half, they're getting all kinds of breaks as they step out. And here we go.
Second and 14, 7:50 left, and the Eagles going to have to stop him here, Chris.
Here comes Straub. Straub steps up to the line with Monty over him. We got a split right, split left. One man in the backfield. This ought to be good. He's going to be taken to the air. Eldorado's playing awful close here to be covering for defense, and it's just a little pitch to the left, and they cannot do it. And wow.
What he did, Danny Monty dropped back and let all the defenders go and tried to get a little shuttle pass to the middle, but deflected there by a slew of Eagles.
Did not work.
Didn't work here. 7:34, here comes Danny Monty, the line of scrimmage. Double split again, single back, motion right. As Monty rolls right, looking deep, he's looking for Janello right back, and it's picked off there by Ben Clore. Here comes Ben Clore, he has wide open space to the right. Cuts it back in. He has
Clore going to take it to the other side of the field. Here comes Ben Clore to the 20. To the 25, to the 15, to the 10-yard line, Ben Clore, and the guy is dead. He's just laying there, folks. Holy cow, what a run from Clore.
Chris, you got to look in the middle of the field. Those are yellow flags in the middle of the field. More than likely, it's going to be clipping on the Eagles.
Which really wouldn't be that bad of a deal, seeing how he did intercept it.
But you bring it back to where he caught the ball and march it back 15 yards. So,
at least he got an interception. Wow. Clore's loving life right now, folks, but Coach Carl Justice isn't. He's asking what in the world's going on. He's thinking, well, hold them. Hey, they could win this ball game.
Threatening here, as that flag was against CZR, Chris. So Eldorado in a very good situation here. We'll have to wait and see. No, maybe that wasn't, because the referees are now discussing it with the Bearcats. We'll have to wait and see what comes up from this situation.
What's going on? Let's see. Looks like the referee's going to run over and talk to Mr. Fritz, CZR's head coach. There goes the referee. He's talking to him about it. Don't know what's going to happen.
Eldorado does have the ball, Chris. The penalty, I guess, was on the Bearcats or something. And it's now first and 10 from the 12-yard line.
Eldorado could do it right here, Joe, with 7:13 left to go here in the fourth. 16-12 is our score. Only a 4-point deficit here for Eldorado. Coming off the field will be McCarty, and the team's trying to get the fans into it, and the fans finally get the message, and here they go. The Eagles' nest is with them, Joe.
No rhythm.
Here come the Eagles.
Here we come. Ben Clore up the line of scrimmage. 7 minutes left here. Eagles are threatening. Straight T in the backfield. Ben Clore takes the snap, turns, gives it to Sean Stanley up the left side. He has open field, breaks through, touchdown! Touchdown!
Cow, there goes the Eagles with 6 minutes.
Eldorado Eagles come up big once again here in the fourth quarter as it's now 18-16 in favor of the Eagles, and the Eagles' nest is now roaring.
Like we were talking earlier, Joe, this is exactly what happened last week. But first this play, we'll get back to that later. Here comes Clore. It looks like they're going to go for it. Clore gets to Stanley. Ooh, Stanley gets mauled. He's not going to make it.
Extra point attempt.
So here we go. Kicking off the football will be Eldorado.
How much time do we have left in the game, guys?
We have 6 minutes and 45 seconds left, Charlie. 18-16 in favor of your Eldorado Eagles.
And kicking the ball off for some odd reason will be McCarty. Or not McCarty.
That's recovered by number 87-4.
Josh Peebler kicks it off.
Big hit there by number 30.
And a yellow flag on the field. Uh-oh, we got a little trouble out on the field here, folks. What's going on?
For personal fouls, and that's going to march the ball Christopher's way.
Well, if that cost this team the game, I'm sure whoever was doing the mouthing. Let's see. They'll see Coach Carl Justice is getting all over player number 30 here. He turns out to be Josh Peebler, the kicker. So surely the kicker didn't just come in and then mouth off. But anyhow, Coach Carl Justice is getting his team back into it. Don't worry about it, team. Right now they're right in the middle, a little bit over on the other side, 45-yard line, and here we go.
Danny Monty with the ball, turns, gives it to Janello before he's brought down by Brandon Hampton along with number 54, Wes Watson, and number 72, Don DeBose. So Chris, Eldorado did a nice job there and threw Janello for a 2-yard loss, and it's now 2nd and 12 with just 6:20 left in the ball game, Chris.
Just as long as they
looking pretty good.
Just as long as they can do that same thing 2 more times here, Joe, and then score again, we'll be in good shape. 6:16 left to go here. 18-16 is our score. Eldorado leading CZR. Here we go. Here comes Monty. Monty with a fake. He takes it over to the right-hand side. A quick pitch right. Oh, wow. The guy reverses it. It's a reversal play. And he's taken down hard. Single hand.
Sean Stanley just cleans his clock.
Absolutely. And limping off the field will be Jason Mulvey. As Mulvey comes off the field, and once again, Mulvey is injured. He's wounded. But this guy, he heals faster than anybody. Hopefully he'll be back in the next play.
Here comes the Eagles. Eagle defense fired up now, as are the Eagles fans and are me and Chris. Here comes Monty, rolls back, rolls right, looking to throw the ball somewhere. It's picked up! Sean Stanley! He takes it up the right side. Sean Stanley, that could be the nail in the coffin.
That could be, Joe.
Now through. Brandon Hampton to the ground, and Danny Monty is thrown out of the game.
Danny Monty just got the boot.
And he is the key player for the Bearcats.
So Monty has been ejected. That's too bad, too.
You never hear, Chris, of any football players really getting ejected, but tonight's in a different sort, I guess, as Monty just gets the boot, and here comes Ben Clore. There's life for the Eagles as they lead 18-16 as Ben Clore gets under center, takes the snap, turns, and gives it to Sean Stanley up the left side. He keeps on bullying his play forward. No gain there, maybe half a yard, and there's a flag on the play.
That's all they're on.
With their main man Danny Monty out. That's not too.
Well, let's see.
likely.
Backup quarterback that they have here would be Caleb Shapkoff.
He's a junior.
He's a junior. Also, Josh Anderson, the sophomore. Here we go. Here comes Clore, T backfield. Clore over Young. Gets the handoff here to Sean Stanley. Stanley gets around the corner. Holy cow, the guy goes 8 yards. And Sean Stanley, be one heck of a celebration. They can beat this tough CZR team.
4:05 left as the clock is running down now. Ben Clore comes to the line of scrimmage, taking his time, letting this clock run out. As Clore comes to the line, turns, gives to Jimmy McCarty, cuts it back in. He's in trouble. Hopefully he can hold on to that ball as he does. No gain.
Timeouts, and definitely at the end of the game, Charlie Conwell will give you an update on that ball game. Here comes Clore as Clore comes back up the field. He goes over Big Young, and here we go. T backfield for Eldorado. That's mainly what they usually use. And here comes Clore. Clore's going to get it here to Stanley. Stanley bulls his way forward another 3 yards, making it about 3rd and 7 or 8. We'll have to wait and see here.
Clock is still running, Chris, and that's going to go the Eagles' way.
That is in the Eagles' favor, just as long as that clock still ticks down. It's going to be 3rd and 7, and this right here is going to be a key play also.
Yeah, you're right, Chris.
Who do you give it to? That's the question. They're looking for Stanley to get it since he's had such a good night.
Well, Chris, even though they expect Stanley to get the ball in this type of situation, I'd still give it to him since he has done so much for this ball club this evening.
Done a good job this evening, and here comes Walter.
But you do have McCarty and Walters in the backfield. We'll have to see. Here comes Ben Clore. Turns, gives it to Sean Stanley, cuts in, nowhere to roam, and he's going to be about a
native. He lives pretty close here to the town, and he's always a big supporter of Eldorado football. Also backing Eldorado football this year, Southeastern Illinois Electric and Farrell Hospital, along with J. Browning Insurance, and Big John's of Eldorado.
Chris, just under 2 minutes to play down the ball game, 4th and 8. It looks like the Eagles are going for a double split, double wing backfield, and
sounds good. Here comes Clore.
It's number 7.
It's going to be Jason Hobbs.
Jason Hobbs, Jr. Timeout Eldorado.
The 6-yard line.
Chris, this is a very important series.
Absolutely, they're down
Eagles
2
here.
points.
Down 2 points, up 2 points they are. They're up 18-16, a minute 45. The Bearcats have the ball on their own 6-yard line as a new quarterback comes in, and Jason Hobbs, as Danny Money was thrown out of the game for trying to fight with Brandon Hampton, and here comes Hobbs. Hobbs gives it over to Bramlett. Bramlett breaks free, still on his feet, and he finally goes forward for about field, Chris. Minute 22 left. Clock is still running, Chris, so the clock is in Eldorado's favor as here comes Hobbs to the line of scrimmage. Turns, gives it 2. He rolls out of the pocket, and Mike Bramlett off his fingertip. And Sean Stanley, they're back watching for the pass, so hopefully they're aware back there and they know the bomb is coming. So
it's kind of a scary situation also here for Jason Hobbs. Probably never been into a varsity football game. Here comes Hobbs over his man Staub, and here we go. Hobbs going to go way back. He's got men way down the field, and no, it's an interception here by Eldorado's number 34, Jimmy McCarty, and that'll just about do it here tonight. With a minute left to go, Eldorado intercepts the football.
Garrett Janello, the leading rusher for this team here in the ball game and last week, so he might be out for the rest of the game, along with Danny Money, who got tossed for getting a little hot temper there and wanting to fight Brandon Hampton, which Brandon Hampton did a nice job of backing down. I mean, you don't want to fight in a game like this.
I don't know if I'd been that nice, Joe.
Sure, because look, Brandon Hampton's still in the ball game. Danny Monty's sitting in the stands, sitting with his mom watching the game as Brandon Hampton's still on the field.
It's liable too.
35 seconds, Ben Clore comes to the line of scrimmage. You have Jeremy Walters back behind the 2 running backs as a safety. Clore takes the ball. That's a penalty against the Eagles' delay of game, which doesn't hurt at all, Chris. That just stops the clock and marches the ball back 10 more yards.
They could have another one.
That will start now. 5 yards. That's got to be snapped.
The ball has to be snapped. We just now have been informed. So they'll probably go up and snap the ball, and Clore will probably kneel it, you know.
Hopefully not get creamed too hard. Here we go. Clore goes up to the line. 32 seconds left to go here. And here we go. Clore, he's going to try to run it. He goes around the edge.
Very good decision, Chris. He had the sidelines there, but you don't want to go out of it. You do not want to go out of bounds on a situation like that, because that does stop the clock. 20 seconds left. It's now under 20 seconds, about 17, and the clock is still running. As the clock is still running, Chris, and this could be the ball game.
10 seconds.
Eldorado